lot of wind noise in the background, but hopefully it's not too untenable for everyone out there in YouTube land joining us today. We do have, as stated in the title, we're going to be doing an unbox stream today, and we're going to be doing an unbox stream of some really cool items. Continental Liberty billet stuff online for you today. It's going to be a decent stream. It's got 14% battery, but it is a decent phone, so we'll see what happens. Right, the hands of time, the hands of my battery. Let's check it out together. Now, just a quick story to go ahead and get the stream started while people kind of trickle on in. Yesterday, I made my weekly journey, my pilgrimage to the church of the tactical church, as it were, right? And I went to the range, United Sportsman in Concord. Great place to go and train if you guys are ever out in Northern California. United Sportsman in Concord, and I brought with me the AEA Harpoon double barrel PCP air rifle, right? It's a double barrel, both single and twin fire, dual fire, whatever you want to call it there. What up, Mac? Hey, Gary Galan, first in chat, first in our hearts. Thank you very much for being here today. Got a good story about the Harpoon. You guys are really going to like this one. Brought it out to the range. Brought it next to stuff that I felt like was higher impact than the Harpoon, right? I had my RPK and stuff with me. I kind of set the precedent with that. So they said, oh, he's going back down to air guns. Maybe we'll let him do some stuff with that other item that he brought today. Broke out the Harpoon, asked him if I could shoot wax slugs. Now, I only have faith in wax slugs because from what I've heard, that's a choked barrel. And if you have a Harpoon 12 gauge Magnum, basically no vendor even is on talking terms. They all hate me greatly. So I don't have the answer to this, if this is a choked barrel or not. The only people who are really cool with me vendor wise, Texoma Precision Pellets, really solid people there. Really like the people up at Phil's Hobby Stop in Alaska. I really like Terry Fox Air Power. Is there anybody else vendor wise besides Jim, Phil, and Terry that has any love for me in this industry? Not much. Maybe Thomas of Bluegrass Big Bore. He's a really cool guy as well. I don't wear the bin tag shirt because I'm sponsored. It's more just based on the fact that this one makes me look the most buff out of all my tees that I have, and it's after work, so I want to like get the most reward for the most little effort of presentation, right? I'm present, but it's been a hell of a day. Let's go ahead and get right into our story about the Harpoon. So I break out the Harpoon, and I break out the only slugs that I have that I had confidence in for a potentially choked smoothbore barrel, which is the wax slugs. They're like, wax slugs. Sounds kind of sus. Is there anything else that's in there? Gene Shriver, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the conundrum. The Flash, welcome. Good, a long time subscriber. Good to have you, my guy. Good to have you in the chats, just like the old times. Black Jesus, welcome to the chats. There was a good response to this yesterday. Yesterday's reloading live stream was extremely popular. It was one of the better live streams I've ever had on my channel, and they said it was because of the vertical live format. So if you guys like it and everybody else in the YouTube algorithm seems to like it, I will keep doing it for you guys. Back to the lecture at hand. AEA Harpoon, wax slugs. Inform them there's a little bit of birdshot in it to give it added weight, but it shouldn't frag under this low of an energy level. And they kind of like did the math on number 8 birdshot inside of a wax slug in a shooting lane at a public range. And they're like, you know what? We're not going to allow you to do that here. Not on any sense of the word. Now, just for context here, typically when I go to USI, I've always been able to use my shotgun, my Maverick 88 with Foster slugs on the pistol range. And they do allow you to use slugs because it is a non-scattering style ammunition, very one projectile per squeeze of the trigger style ammunition. So they totally allow you to do that over on the pistol side. However, because there was the possibility that my wax slugs actually would end up frangible, they did not want any part of that. Now the good thing is I've been making really good friends with people out there at the range, and they've invited me to come and actually shoot and film with them on the off days when the range is closed. So, you know, a private range is always going to be better. A private permission is always going to be better than a public usage. And I think that that's going to be something that we're going to be looking for in the future. But yeah, long story short, they were unwilling to let me shoot the AEA Harpoon at the range yesterday, even though I did bring it and try and get them to go ahead and let me do that for you guys, because of the fact that I think what it comes down to, they understand I'm bringing serious air guns. Every time I go out there, I wear a shirt that says I shoot BB guns, and I'm just fucking with them, right? I'm just trolling them, basically just trolling them, like, okay, out here with BB guns, but they're serious. And now they've kind of gotten that, okay, he's actually more serious than less serious with the air guns, so we're going to take it seriously when he brings new stuff out. Do a Western Rattler 45 long strike video at the range. I would love to, but you know what? Honestly, let's talk about that. I have a few of the new air guns that are coming to market, but I'm kind of unwilling to buy like $2,000 and $3,000 air guns at this point. Why, right? It's not because I dislike air guns, but it's like for $2,000 worth of air gun, you can buy a hell of a lot of firearm. And people might say that that's straying from my roots, but I don't think that that's straying from my roots. I think that's just the progression of the hobby, in the sense that when you're, let's put it in a biblical sense, when you were a child, you thought like a child, you reasoned like a child. Now that I'm a man, I think as a man, right? And I've not necessarily become a man because of firearms, but they are a better tool for repeatable, longer range accuracy and energy transfer than an air rifle. So it's not like I'm straying from you guys or anything like that. I'm just at a point where if I had $2,000 to throw at something, it ain't gonna be no M-car, right? It ain't gonna be no M-car, 100%. It will not be. It'd be like an AR-10 with some spicy shit to it. It'd be something good like that. Inside of that, do have a cool unboxing for you guys today. Continental Liberty is a brand that I have not heard of previously. This is CB Life 1/6x24 LPVO with a really cool reticle. You guys are probably gonna like this if my camera wants to pick it up. Where's my camera? Oh shit, it does. It does want to do it. Yo, look at that reticle. How lit is that reticle? Illuminated reticle, 1/6. This is cool. This is cool. Very, very, very cool. So, what's the point? CB Life on the Continental Liberty billet side mount. This is not a squirted adapter. This is not a printed adapter. This is 100% just, sorry if there's wind noise, I can't do anything about it. Bluster here. This is a billet spring-loaded side mount for the AK platform. I put this on my RPK, and I absolutely love this mount on my RPK. Hey, it's the air rifle guy, Mr. T-Dog98. What's happening? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the conundrum. How are you, my guy? Welcome to the chat. The cool thing about this mount is I previously, up to yesterday when I actually sighted this in, had this combination on it previously. It is the titanium Hollow Sun Gold Dot Elite with the solar panels and the Shake Awake and a 3x magnifier combo. Now, I was able to pull this mount off of my RPK and set it off to the side for a week and then come back and everything held zero. Slid it back onto the side of the receiver, put it back on the rifle, absolutely went to work with it at the range. Totally did fine. Excuse me. Inside of that, I don't like the idea of only being stuck with one optic. Hence an unboxing stream. Hence an unboxing stream. Air Power, good afternoon, gentlemen, he says. Welcome to the conundrum. I like the idea of having two mounts of similar quality that have different style optics so that I could utilize different optics on different range days without having to re-zero and recenter my optics. So, I know I said optics about 11 times right there, but you get the point. You get the point of what I'm going for. This was 76 bucks delivered to my door, this specific mount, and I felt like it was a worthy price, but a hefty price. So when I went back to get the second mount for the original red dot setup that we had, I actually went with used, but new, like new, right? The Amazon used like new option. And I was able to get this thing for about 52 bucks as opposed to the 70 plus I paid previously. And I want to see if indeed this is going to be equally as good and good on my wallet as the original Continental Liberty mount that we have over here. Now the fit and finish on this guy is really, really, really good. All the lettering and font is all laser engraved. Everything feels really solid in hand. All of the corners everywhere have a nice little chamfer on them. There's no sharp edges anywhere. This little clamp and clasp on the bottom, really, really effective. Of course, I'm on camera, so it's gonna mess with me, but hey, there you go, right? And then it locks into place. This is a good, solid setup. Let's see exactly what's in the used like new box, right? Let's check it out. Okay. Okay. You guys can see it before I see it, I don't care. Everything looks legit. It's got the little card in there. This has never been mounted. There's no way. Hey Mac, is it possible to make a calico style magazine for the T9? That's a really good question, and I did see a really good helical magazine, helical/axial hybrid magazine from Hoffman Tactical in a video recently, and it was amazing. I did think I missed one stream, or one question. What do you think about the T50 from our good friend Black Jesus? My guy, I think it's going to be a rebranded S45 with the original S45 receiver. I think you're going to get a different diameter tank. I think you're going to steal the Megalodon tank for the T50. And I think that they're probably going to have updated the trigger actuation system, whatever black magic is behind that panel with the two screws on the left-hand side, the driver's side, the car guy driver's side of the S45. I think they're going to touch up something in that. I'm making my own T50. I don't have no $1,500-$1,600 to throw at another PCP air rifle when I have 5 S45s in my collection, right? I got like every variant of S45 that exists. So I don't have the cat. Oh, hey, look at that. SCP-MTF Alpha $1 super chat coming through. Absolutely the lifeblood of this channel, made possible by viewers like you. I'm not a sponsored guy. I'm throwing the heart that way. I'm throwing the heart that way with the like. Give this guy some support in the chat for a very generous dono. Thank you very much. This is cool. I always get unfocused whenever I get the donations, but that's historically been true every time I stream. Back to the lecture at hand. The T50, I'm making my own. I have the only S45 50 caliber that currently exists. I got the bolts. I got the magazines, the billet magazines from Jim and Texoma, the only prototypes that exist. I have everything. I have everything that went with that 50 caliber setup. So I want to try to make my own. I'm going to start with the long 2-foot barrel that I have for it, right? And then if that barrel's too unwieldy, we'll just chop it down, right? We'll incrementally chop it down. We'll try 18 inches, we'll try 16 inches, we'll try 14 inches, and we'll just, I don't know, maybe we'll go ahead and set the barrel sections out on the range so that we can go ahead and have a little interactive target as we do things. I did pick up a private permission as stated in yesterday's. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Fast Energy's in the chat. Yeah. Yo, game recognized game. I'm trying to get on your level and get jacked, bro. Everybody go subscribe right now to Fast Energy's channel. That's my boy, man. That's my boy. Very, very, very cool to have you in the chat. Hella cool. Austin Harriman, great to have you. Vertical Lives got my cripple hand thumb. If you guys are up on the history of my channel, very physiologically different after an injury here, but I'm giving you the best thumbs up I can. Very cool. Please make a video when you create it. I will. Not only will I make a video when I actually put it out for you guys, the actual prototype that I create, but I'm going to give you a how-to video as far as every step of the way. I think that there's the possibility that we can just make a sleeve. Listen to what I'm saying right now. We could just make a sleeve that takes the 45 caliber bolt on the S45 from 45 diameter to 50. It doesn't have to survive that much, right? It could be plastic, it could be ABS, it could be nylon. You could put like a big old plastic condom over the bolt of an S45 and not have any interference problems because there's plenty of space inside the receiver. And then if you had a 50 caliber barrel, you'd probably be most of the way there, right? That sounds like a good one. So somebody out there steal my idea if you want to, but I think that the standard S45 guys, once the barrels start coming out for the S50s, may have a shot at cheaply going from 45 to 50 caliber, especially since magazines will be out supposedly from Bintac. You know, you never know. Let's see what the rest of our unboxing looks like. Continental Liberty mount. This is what the original one that I've been messing with looks like after it's been mounted no less than 5 to 6 times on my gun and pulled on and off, on and off. This one's never seen action. I think this is one of those situations where this didn't fit somebody's airsoft gun and they sent that thing back. So 100%, that's where I think that the used like new ended up coming out, because this is very, very, very cool. Says looks racist. What looks racist? This looks racist. I don't understand how a scope mount could look racist, but okay, whatever. Sure, it's freedom of speech, I suppose. What is a good air guns when it comes to dealing with vermin such as rats? Got a CO2 revolver, but the CO2 leaks out a lot. I like the Huben GK1. It's expensive, but the GK1 doesn't miss, and definitely 100% is a reliable air powered tool. I think that in general the Huben GK1 is overlooked only because it's cost prohibitive, but not because of the fact that it's underperforming. The GK1 is great. It's probably one of the most serious air pistols out there. Must you get to shoot some plus P in your Glock yet? Oh yeah, absolutely. I do love the fireballs. Nope, Gene Shriver, great question. If you're new to the chat, this is a mount that I am going to utilize this little Hollow Sun Gold Dot on. This is going to be going on my Century Arms AES 10B2, which is basically a Romanian RPK. It should be festive. It should be very festive. And honestly, I can't say enough good things about it so far. It's been very, very, very reliable. I got it dry and ungreased in such a way to where it didn't want to run super reliably when I first got it. But that put me in the position of learning about the machine that I had purchased to such an extent that I was able to fix it. And now the thing sprays them out. So the problem that I was having was it doesn't want to strip off that first round when it first goes into battery, and then I have to kind of like dump it upside down, right, and shake the round out, and then it'll feed from that right hand side and strip that round off into the magno problem, excuse me. But definitely there was a learning curve there, and it was kind of gratifying to really kind of get it right. Do you think I'd buy the GK1 over the T50? I think so. What's the best airgun caliber? That's a really great question. I'd say as far as small bores are concerned, 25 caliber is a really, really, really good Goldilocks caliber. 30 caliber is sometimes hard to find. 25 caliber you're going to find on the shelf at a lot of stores, including Big 5. So as a thing in general, 25 caliber for the small bore, small pesting stuff, unless we're talking about the Hatsan Blitz, where it's always worth it to go 30 caliber. For ultimate caliber that's not small bore, probably 357 or 50 caliber. 50 caliber is super versatile. I'm talking about the 495 50 caliber also, just to be clear, not 510. 510 is kind of a weird caliber that has only so many molds available for it. So it's kind of like a niche ammunition caliber that not a lot of people are really into. But you know, you got the Umarex Hammer guys, I think that's a 510, so some guys do like it. Personally, I like the 495 50 caliber because that's what the Seneca Dragon Claw is all based off of, as well as every AEA 50 caliber. So the HP Max, the T50 is going to be that same way. My S45 50 caliber is 495. I think in general, 495 50 caliber or the ever popular 357. 357, you know, that's where the Benjamin Bulldog started. And the Benjamin Bulldog was put together by people who really did understand air guns on like an integral level. The people at Benjamin have not only been doing it for a very long time, but also doing it at a high level. I feel like the Benjamin Bulldog is probably one of the quintessential original legacy big bore air gun hitters, right? So you got to give credit where it's due, and 357 is a caliber that they went to for a reason. 50 caliber, same thing, very traditionally gone to. Seneca's been out for over a decade, 15 years plus, something like that, making good use of that 495 caliber, as well as other kind of, you know, more modern, more recent stuff, making good use of the same caliber as well. So if I had to answer it, long story short, 25 for small bore, 35 or 50 caliber, depending on what you can personally afford ammunition cost-wise, as far as, you know, affordability to shoot. Both good options. Is that a good answer? You guys like those drawn out answers? Because I could talk, man. I can definitely, the gift of improv is real. The gift of gab is real. Double tap the screen to like. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Fast Energies Adventure. I really appreciate that. Hella cool. I like 58. Garrett Gallant. I haven't had a good run with 58. 58 sucks to me, man. I don't like it. My Megalodon was 58 caliber. It's like the worst air gun in my whole collection. I literally would get rid of that thing if I could find a buyer who understood the problem that they were buying, right? I would give them a good deal on it just to get that thing out of my safe. But man, I had a really bad go with 58 caliber. Hope to see a Z-Pap on your channel one day. You know, I already got the RPK. When I'm kind of leaning towards building an AR-10. I like the idea of a 308 AR, but I can't afford 308. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that's like, all right, no matter what, I'm not going to have what I want here. I'm either going to get stuck with a basic-ass PSA 5.56, or I'm going to be stuck with a 308 that I can't shoot because I have no bullets. So make a choice, right? Is there an automatic air gun that can hunt pig? Hats on Blitz 30 caliber. 16 rounds in 1.16 seconds at 50 foot-pounds apiece is sizable energy. 457 is nice and plentiful. Totally truth. Totally truth. Your videos and shorts are cool. Thank you. Oh yeah, okay. I appreciate that. Extended mags S45 357. You know, the world's best welding hoods. Great question. Extended mags for the 357. That was such a finicky gun, dude. Like, honestly, I've had two different 9mm S45s come through my collection, and I had to beg the one that ran to run, and the other one did not do good and jammed up so solidly I had to make another like circle back episode on what the hell went wrong with it just to go ahead and like finish an episode. It was kind of realistically horrible. So what's the point? It's been difficult to develop a mag for a gun that ran so shitty out of the box. It just doesn't do the same thing every time. Sometimes it'll do weird stuff, sometimes it'll run okay. Sometimes it'll jam up so solid you can't use it for the rest of the time on the range, so you never know. It's been difficult to develop that one. I killed 6 deer with my T9 last year. Damn, that's so gnar. That's so gnar, but man, hats off to you, dude. That's really putting the air arms to work. People underestimate how little energy it really takes to ethically hunt with good shot placement. And if you're getting good shot placement out of your T9, a 9mm frontal area may not be the optimal choice for some people as far as like, you know, power placement versus deer cartridge versus what they think about it, but it's not, nobody's gonna understate the fact that it works. Just finished my 308 build. Stupid California said I built an Aereo Precision. Bro, that's exactly what I was looking at. The Aereo. It's a green Aereo right now. I see it. It's on my radar. It's available for a decent price. I'm like, man, that's something that's on my radar. Tell me the Megalodon issue. I feel like I've got a bad barrel. I feel like my barrel is so loose that there's no rifling engagement on any slugs that I've tried, and I'm trying all approved stuff, not like printing out weird, you know, 3D printed stuff that I just dream up. It's actual slugs from actual manufacturers that are approved for that rifle. And it's like a buckshot pattern at 25 yards, and the gun was $1,000 that I actually paid money for. I don't get free guns. I buy everything. No sponsors means I buy my own stuff. So for me, I'm like, man, it hurts to spend $1,000 and then go out and make 5 videos with it, 4 videos with it, and have it do horrible. People thought that I was just like out to get bin tack or out to get AEA for those videos, but it wasn't. Their gun was just fucking horrible, and I'm like, dude, it sucks to suck. It's not my problem. It's not my fault. I'm giving you the only true perspective of what can happen with that platform if you get a lemon, and I was being demonized for it, so whatever, right? Enough about the 58 Megalodon. It makes me upset. We break for squirrel. Glock gang, Glock 17. Hell yeah, G17 fits my meaty palms pretty well. Do like it. Flat shooting monster. And it's been over 700 rounds with no failures to fire or feed. So when you get into this 500, 600, 700 rounds, you've done nothing to it, you haven't cleaned it, you haven't lubed it, you haven't greased it, the shit still goes bang every single time with like a sub 2-inch grouping at a 7-yard distance. I'm very happy, very pleased with my you know, sub $600 purchase. Very cool. LOL to the person who keeps tapping what I tap. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm a serial tapper myself, and when I see a button that I'm able to hit, I just hit the button, right? Maybe I've seen people take the button away sometimes because the chat gets too into it, but me myself, I love it. I'm never taking the button away from you guys. As a proud owner of both, I completely agree. Pro SC American, everyone's seen an AR, a pistol, and a shotgun. I say 2 ARs, an AR-15 and an AR-10. See, and that's I agree with everything in that comment so heavily, so heavily. Glock, MAV-88, and an AK or an AR, great place to start. I started with the AK because the right thing came for the right price and was right in front of me, and I had a bunch of hundreds in my pocket. I spent them, right? So that's how that literally unfolded. But if there had been a similarly cool AR, I probably would have done the same thing that day. I went for an M1A with the aesthetic, and I really wanted 308. That's where I'm sorry about the wind noise. If the wind noise is crippling for you guys, I really am sorry about that, and I'll do the best I can to deal with it in the future streams. But back to lecture at hand. That's where I would spend 2 G's if I had, which I don't have 2 G's to spend on anything, right? Somebody's like, will you spend 2 G's on a Western Rattler? And I'm like, no, I'd buy an M1. An M1, they're getting pricey as hell, but they'll never be as cheap as they are today. So if they're going to be the cheapest that they're going to be in foreseeable history right now, now's the time to buy one, right? But barrel needed a replacement. Tom, Bluegrass Big Bore is a true gentleman. You know what? I like Tom. I like Tom and Bluegrass Big Bore. He kind of had a little falling out a little bit just based on the fact that he doesn't like the fact that I've spoken about self-defense previously, and it is what it is. You know, we had to agree to disagree there, but that doesn't take away from what a really solid, stand-up, well sorted out and squared away character Tom at Bluegrass Big Bore is. I really do like that guy, and I like him enough to where it's like we can have disagreements about stuff, and I still consider him my friend. So that says a lot to people, right? Thomas is such an awesome dude. Oh, totally. AA kind of gets themselves. Yeah, I agree with that. Held for review. What's the... Whatever. Cool. Totally cool. I've seen people modernize the Ruger Mini 14 and the Ruger Mini 30. If the Ruger Mini 14 and the Ruger Mini 30 took standardized AR 308 mags, I would be in there like swimwear because I like the Mini 30. That's a good one. I've been watching your videos for a while. I think you're the most honest and best at your craft. Good for you, man. Considering you do it on the side and have a regular job. World's best welding hoods. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I try to put in as much effort as I can physically bring to the table without sacrificing it from those who need it more, right? My family always comes first. But the time that I do have extra time like this, like in the evening after work, it's not like I can go to the post office and ship off any orders right now. Everything's closed. The day's basically over. But I get a great group of people to go ahead and spend an afternoon stream with. All in all, I think that this unboxing proves one thing. You can get the used like new Jeff Bezos special here on stuff like this that would normally be close to 80 bucks. And I got this for just over 50. So for me, this is a W. This is a big W. Don't be afraid of it, right? Don't be afraid of it. If it sucks, just send it back. Simple as that. If it sucks, just send it back. Did recently have a, let's see, keep up on the chat. Dude, the haters gonna hate no matter what. Hell yeah, I still get shit on for having PSA stuff. PSA stuff is good. PSA stuff goes bang. I have a friend that has a PSA AR that he built himself, and it does just fine. It's very, very, very accurate. I just don't care anymore. Totally accurate. Sometimes you have to not care. Stoicism has been like the leading male interaction model for like 2,000 years. I don't intend to stop that today, right? It's a good way to go. Get my message about the recoil on the shotty, squaring up on a target to mitigate the recoil. You know what? I would love to say that I did or I didn't, but it's gotten to such a point over the last few months, ever since we made the big jump from like 80,000 to 100,000, where I'm getting a ton of comments every single day, and I do the best I can to like personally get through every single one, but it's become something that's so much, it's physically impossible for me to get through every single comment every single time. However, Joshua, shout out to you, my guy, for being 100% persistent and getting into the live stream and getting your chat out there. I do try and read through as many of these comments as humanly possible, so this is a good way to do it. I live in Connecticut, and it's like a process for me to even get my permit. unfortunate events at a much younger age. I understand it. Hey, I get it. As a guy who had to federally restore his rights, I do get it. Range time is always going to do more for you than any platform. The cost of the platform or the accessories, correct. Exactly what I have. Glock 19, Glock 26, MAV 88. MAV 88's the shit, dude. MAV 88, as far as a cheap shotgun, a lot of people like that, man. You have a pump action kit for the M50 7-inch pistol in your online store. I actually don't, and that's a really great question. That's a really great question. The only, God, should I, it's a live stream, so I don't get to take it back. But man, there was one guy who was making pump action kits for the smaller stuff, the 5-inch and the 7-inch M50, but there are unconfirmed rumors that he's no longer making those because he's no longer among us. I don't know if that's a known fact or not, but there are rumors that the person who was making the original much smaller pump kits may have, damn, I can't even say it. If you know Atmotac and you can get in touch with Atmotac, just see if the guy's okay. That's all I can say. But I don't make those small pump kits because I feel like there's a possibility that a guy could slip off the pump kit, and because there's no safety mechanism inside the AEA M50, accidentally squeeze the trigger and thereby hole punch his hand. So I don't personally make that kit for that reason, because I don't want someone liability wise to slip off the front of that weapon system and then end up with their hand in front of the muzzle and then have a reflex squeeze and then let that thing go, right? Oh, 1%. Oh, 1% battery. Damn it. If you get anything out of this stream, all I would say is absolutely do trust the Amazon new not used stuff, and like and share for more. 1%. I'll catch you boys in the next one. Damn. Robert, good to see you in the chat, man. You're right at the end. My phone may die before I'm able to end it, so we'll see what happens. Check you in the next one, boys.